Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be showing you tutorial letter 101 for the module LPL4801, that is the law of sale and lease. So this is my Unisa site, and we are here on LPL4801. We are just going to go through it and see what is there for us. We are going to skip that, and then we are going to check on prescribed materials and see what is there for us. There is absolutely nothing there, meaning there is no prescribed book for this module. We go back there, and then we go to official study material. Right, so there we go. We have a tutorial letter 101. It says both for LPL4801, and then we have, those are the study guides 1, 2 and 3. So for today we are going to be focusing on this tutorial letter 101 and see what the structure of this module is, and then I'm going to be recording other videos reading the 3 study guides. So please keep following my channel, like and subscribe, so that we grow the family and others that are still waiting for their study material to start studying with us. So we don't want somebody who stays behind because they don't have study material. So that's the purpose of these videos, to help each other. Right, we are opening our tutorial letter and it's bouncing. I don't know why. It's bouncing. Okay, let me try and adjust my camera. Maybe just stop bouncing. There we go. Sorry about that. We are going to check what is there for us. We are all familiar with tutorial letter 101. So these are the contents. As you can see, this is the usual that we always receive in all the modules, but we are looking for the specifics for this particular module, that is law of sale and lease. Okay, we are going to read there because it's highlighted. It must be important. LPL 4801 is offered in a blended mode. Whether a mode is offered either as blended, meaning that we use a combination of printed and online material to engage with you, or online, all information is available via the internet. We use My Unisa as our virtual campus. The My Unisa virtual campus offers students access to the My Module site. Whether learning material is available online, whether assessments should be completed. So that is that. We are going to be moving a bit slowly so that you can be able to read for yourself even the parts that I skip. Unfortunately, my video is still bouncing. I don't know why. I've got my phone on a tripod stand, so for the life of me, I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, those are the purpose and outcomes. We have to read that because this applies to this particular module. The purpose of this module is for students to gain knowledge, insight, and competencies to analyze and solve problems relating to the law of sale and lease, as well as basic research skills in the practice of law. This module deals with aspects of transformative constitutionalism as expressed in certain legislation, such as the Consumer Protection Act 68 of 2008, the National Credit Act 34 of 2005, and the Rental Housing Act 50 of 1999. This module will enable students to practice the principles of Africanization, Ubuntu, humanizing the law of sale or lease practice, and social responsibility within communities that they serve. Most of the legislation of recent origin and was adopted by a democratic parliament, taking into account the unique features of South Africa and its population. The legislation is based on the values embodied in the Constitution, including the principles of Africanization, Ubuntu, and humanizing the law in those fields, and serves as a corrective to the 19th century capitalist basis of the law of contract and the abasis under the guise of freedom and contract. Okay, we move on. Outcomes, there on 2.2. Right, it says there, a range of tasks in the study guide or tutorial letters, assignments, and examinations are designed for students to achieve the outcomes. Outcome 1. Identify and explain the role of contracts of sale and lease in current South African law and everyday life. Assessment criteria. Legal problems and issues relating to contracts of sale and lease are identified in real or simulated fact scenarios. We move on. The next point. Daily occurrences regarding contracts of sale and lease are interpreted and analyzed. We move on to outcome 2. Right, analyze the history and theoretical framework of and the most pressing and prevalent issues regarding the law of sale and lease. Assessment criteria. The historical roots and development of the law of lease, of sale and lease are explained and integrated with regard to the existing legal position. Next point. Problems and issues relating to law of sale and lease are identified in real and simulated fact scenarios. Substantiated arguments, opinions, and solutions are presented based on research. The relevance and applicability of various legal sources and authorities in respect of identified problems relating to contracts of sale and leases are analyzed and critically evaluated. Let me move this up a bit. Right, the next point, different points of view in respect of the law of sale and lease are discussed and evaluated. Then areas in need of legal development or reform are recognized. The next point, language use is consistent with the conventions in the discipline of law. Right, this is quite irritating the way it is bouncing. Please advise if you know what I need to do about this on the comments below. Right, outcome 3, apply the principles regarding the law of sale and lease in practical situations and solve multi-dimensional legal problems associated with contracts of sale and lease. We're going to move this up a bit. Assessment criteria. Practical problems from case law and everyday examples are solved using appropriate research methods and applying the principles and rules regarding to contract of sale and lease. Responsible and expert advice on an appropriate course of action is given in respect of issues relating to the law of sale and lease. The relevance and applicability of various legal sources and authorities are analyzed and critically evaluated in terms of identified problems relating to the law of sale and lease. We go up a little bit. The next point, the knowledge and skills students have acquired in other areas of the law, such as the law of contracts and property law are integrated in discussion, analyzing and applying the principles of law, principles of sale and lease. The next point, substantiated responses are provided based on acquired knowledge and knowledge base. We move a little bit up. Responsible and expert advice is provided on an appropriate course of action. Then we go to outcome 4, conduct research. Assessment criteria. Basic principles of literature research are applied as demonstrated skills. Next point, source material is found to suit the needs of the particular area of research. At that point, authorities are used appropriately to substantiate arguments and support solutions for problems relating to the general principles of contracts of sale and lease. The fourth point, the students act responsibly and ethically as researchers and scholars, e.g., refer appropriately, acknowledge sources, and avoid plagiarism. Then we move up a little bit. Secular transformation, I think we are going to skip that. And then contact the university. We are going to skip that. And then this is the most important one here. These are the contact details of lecturers of this particular module. Usually I highlight it because you might never know when you may need it. So I highlight it and then I also write it on a separate note, and during my exams I just paste it there on the wall or just close to my laptop, so that if should anything happen, just like last time when I was writing property law, the power just went off and then I had to stop writing the exam because my computer is the one that you use while LEASE is on the charger, so it cannot last for more than 2 hours. So I had to urgently contact the lecturers, and my note came in handy because it was right next to my computer. It came in handy. So that is that. Keep note of that. And then the department, all those contacts, we are going to skip that. We have them in all our tutorial letters 101. All these contact details for specific queries. All right, we are here now. Resources, prescribed book. There is no prescribed book, no recommended books, no e-reserves for this module. Then study guides and tutorial letters. There are 3 study guides on the law of sale and lease. Study guide 1 will be based on the law of lease. Study guide 2 will be based on the law of sale. And study guide 3 relates to the statutory regulation of the law of sale and lease. Okay, then tutorial letters. Apart from tutorial letter 101, you also receive other tutorial letters during the semester. These tutorial letters will be available online only. So please take note that I've only received tutorial letter 101, the one that we are reading just now. I'm sure tutorial letter 202 comes with a feedback after the first assignment. Yeah, I think so. And then this is all about tutorial letters and prescribed cases. Right, let's read on the prescribed cases. There are no prescribed cases for this module. However, the cases discussed in your study guides should be studied in the way that appear in your study guides. Decisions by our courts are an important source of authority for the issues the court must decide on. When a case dealing with a certain aspect is discussed in the study guides, we expect you to refer to such a case as the authority for that specific aspect, both in written assignments and in the examination. We might include references to new court decisions that you have to study in subsequent tutorial letters. Make sure that you include these new cases in your preparations for the examination. Okay, so as you're reading through your tutorial letter, you must take note of the statements written in bold letters to show that they are important. Not the subheadings, of course, like these ones are subheadings. I mean the statements that are written there, right? These are recommended guides for library information, for research support, that and all that. Right, to view library orientation video, you click here. Okay, student support services, that's that. Okay, all right, let's see if we've got anything else. The Unisa first year experience program, we are skipping that. I'm sure we are all fourth years here, so some of us are third years, some of us are fourth years. Yeah, when you know, you know the Unisa situation. Right, what do we need here? For new students, returning students, you all read that. Study plan, there's no specific study plan for this module. Practical work, there is no practical work for this module. Assessment criteria, see learning outcomes, paragraph 2.2, we are from there, we read all that. Let's see if you can read this as well. You must log into module site on my Unisa in order to access the following: the due dates for the assignments. Please take note of the due dates of the assignments, the actual assignments that must be completed, how to submit your assignments, the weighting of different assignments, admission to the exam, and the examination. Okay, right, this applies to most modules, so we are going to skip that. Submission about the examination. The examination information and details on the format of the examination will be made available to you online via the My Unisa site. Look out for the information that will be shared with you by your lecturer and e-tutors, as well as for communication from the university. Right, we do not have the exam format for this particular module here. It will be communicated to us in due course. Right, what else can we read from here? These are frequently asked questions. This is for all the modules, not for this particular module only. Right, so we are done, we end here. So look out for my other videos where I'll be reading the 3 study guides and also the other modules that I'm registered for, because I'm actually writing 7 modules the semester, 2 subs, and then I've registered 5. So please like, subscribe, so that we help every other student there who's still waiting for their study guides and resources. Thank you.